Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're going to do a modification on the Grizzly g0602 lathe. Uh, One of the problems that I had with the lathe is sometimes it's hard to get the chuck off of it, and there's no spindle brake on this particular lathe. So we're going to modify it. So I'm going to pan you down here and let you look at what I got going on so far. I've done started it. Alright, so what we've got going on here is in order to get this chuck off, and I've never really seen a real good way of doing this except to use the 4-jaw chuck key in there, and I don't like that because see what it's doing to my, I don't like messed up stickers, and it's rubbing right here, and you know, it's just kind of hard to keep that from happening. So, you know, I think that's a shabby way for Grizzly to tell you to get your chuck off, and I'm going to fix that problem. So, what I've done is I've made a mark here on the side of this, and you got to choose your location carefully because on the inside of here you have a rib that goes across, starting right here, that goes across, and you don't want to hit that rib. So what I've made is this piece right here that has a hole drilled in it the same size as the chuck key. Now I'm not going to use the chuck key anymore. I'm going to use this. And basically what that's going to do is you got two holes here. You can line up either one of them. And I'm going to put that right there. And the reason I'm putting that so far away is because these here go on afterwards, and I don't want it hitting this spacer or this spindle brake that I'm making. So I've allowed myself about 1/4 of an inch. So right now what I'm doing is drilling the holes, and I'm going to countersink them to put this type of bolt in it. I just got to find them 2 bolts. So that's what I'm doing now, is looking for those bolts to use for that, and may have to rob something else. But that's where I stand right now. As soon as I find the bolts, we'll be back, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to countersink these for the head of the bolt, and then I'm going to tap a hole, drill and tap a hole right here to screw this to it. So that way anytime I want to change my chuck, I just take a bar, put it in there, line it up, stick it in the hole, and then I'll be able to get my chuck off without any problems. So stay tuned. Alright, so what I did, I went ahead and drilled my holes to fit these screws here, and they'll go in and go flush. And to get my countersink, I just put it over in the mill and milled it out with a milling bit, and it's got a flat surface and it comes out far enough so I ain't got to worry about it. I got plenty of threads, and now we're going to take and drill the holes for this to go on there. So I've already center punched it, and now we're going go ahead and drill it out and hope for the best. I hate drilling on this, but gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, now brush that off there. And get us some bit of oil. Ready? Get our tap ready. Put a little bit of juice on it. And hope it taps okay. Always back your tap out once it starts getting a little stiff, because you definitely don't want to break one off in here. Now before you get all the way through, we'll take it out. And you want to brush all that stuff out of your threads of the tap. Re-grease. And we're through. Now we'll take air. Blow it out. Check your bolt. It works just fine. Now what we're going to do here to start off with is I'm going to dry fit this and make sure that I've got that hole where it should be. And it is. So now we'll loosen that back up, twist that up out of the way, tighten it back up, just snug, and we'll do the same thing. This time we're going to blow it off. Alright, re-grease. Make sure you're going in straight. We'll back it out, clean it off, threads out. A little bit more oil. I tell you, there's nothing more aggravating than not being able to hold your spindle in place while you try to get a 4-jaw chuck or 3-jaw chuck or faceplate or anything off of it. And I just had enough. I guess it takes enough to make you do the job. So now we've got our hole tapped out. And we'll take our second screw. Go ahead and put that in. So now, when I want to take the chuck off, now I'll shorten that. I'm probably going to shorten that so I can actually use the handle. And we're going to make that about that long. So we're going to take that over the bandsaw and cut it off, and we'll be right back. Alright, so now we've got a piece cut that will slide in. Now we get to check it out and see if it's going to work okay. So now let's make sure our threads are nice and clean. Like a burr on that thing. There is a burr on that. Anyway, find my board here. Make sure your threads are clean. Always make sure your threads are clean, because you can get a piece of this metal that might fall out of the chuck. Alright. And there we go. Now, let's see if we can get it off easily. There we go. And that will work. Pull it out. And you're ready to go. Alright, so now we get to put these back on it. I don't really think that it's necessary for these things. They're actually a pain in the butt to work with. They're mainly only for if you have it reversed. And I never run my lathe in reverse, so now we get to make sure that those ain't going to hit, which they're not. I already knew it wasn't. And there we go. Now we have a lock that we can put in place and locks the jaws, or the spindle. So now we've got an extra tool that we can put on here. So now, the next modification I want to do to this lathe is I want to make a key or a chuck key holder somewhere here where it's not in the way. and I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. So that'll be another video though. You guys have a good one. Later.